Hey guys, Lucas here. Thanks for tuning back to my channel. In this episode, we're going to be talking about a serious matter for keeping your Marui Big Bear looking good and running good. And that is body mounts. These guys. These don't come up very often. They're hard to find. And when you do have some, they can look like this, all broken and everything like that. So, recently had a friend of mine ask me, what do you do when you need to have your body mounted onto your truck and you don't have one because you can't, it doesn't work well like that. So I told him, I said, well, I'll show you what I'll do. Watch my video. So here is a plastic hanger. So there's going to be two styles we're going to do. We're going to do two of them. So this is going to be a temporary fix, or you can leave it permanent fix, or it depends on what you like. But this is one. All right, so this is a hanger, excuse me, obviously, and I'm going to cut 3.75 inches out of this thing. So just take my little roller, right there, and then take me a marker. I use the white one. Well, I need red because white hanger. And mark 3.75. There we go. Alright, so once I do that, so I got to cut it. I got my old brick right here. And a little hacksaw. Just like that. So, there. Alright, so once you get that, then you got to drill a little hole, punch a little hole first in the middle here. You're going to want to use 3/32 drill bit to get it right in the middle. Just something small. Then as you go, you can make your screw a hole larger, you know, or up to maybe even a 1/8 if you want to. I think this one I've got was at 5/32 is the next hole I have. Anyways, that's what you got to do. And then you're going to use a screw right behind the servo, and right there I'll show you what I did. I drilled a hole right behind the servo, just a little one, and right in the middle, typically right between right in the middle of the servo. So easy to do. You can move it forward, you can move it back a little bit. That little screw, I tend to go just a tad bit closer towards the servo. It doesn't matter though. Just as long as you're in the middle. Then once you made your hole, you drill it out from the bottom. I mean from the top, not from the bottom. Sorry. Your screw goes through the bottom. So then I'll just like that. So then you have a place to put your is this the right one I did? Yeah. Okay. So this one's already drilled. Yeah, that's right. So now you're probably wondering what is on top of that. Now this you can use. I use a Tamiya Frog front body mount, or is it front one? I think it is front. Maybe not. But this is Tamiya Frog body mount. So you can get these off eBay for really cheap. Usually come in a couple in a pack or something like that, and less than $1 or not much. So you just kind of put it in there, just like that, and drill. And then you just kind of put your screw in. And there you go. So that's one way so far. Then you're going to need to mount the body on it. Alright, so you got to put your body first here, just to sort of get an idea if you like the height. Eye height is perfect. And just envision that you're going to be a little bit lower in the front once it goes down. So now you got to paint the tip with some white paint. Alright, do not touch the front till you get an eye's view of where you want it at. And you got to do it as quick as possible so that way that paint doesn't dry. And that looks pretty good right there. And press down in the front a little bit. Alright. Then you make you have an impression on the bottom of white. Drill that hole. Let's see. Sometimes you got to drill a few times. pretty good. All right, just like that. Check it out. How sturdy is it? Let's find out. Will it hold the body? All right. Thinking over how bad this body is. It needs a lot of work. All right, so there we go. That's on there. There we go. And actually, it's pretty good. So, got a good stance. So, like I said, 3.75 inches is where I like to keep it at. And if you want to go higher, you can, but it's perfect, I think, for the front, for the one post in the front. Then we're going to do the other one. So this is what I'm going to show you a duplicate of that I made out of wood. It's a paint stirrer that you can pick up at any hardware store, and they're usually, I don't know, maybe a foot long. So I cut this thing up in 4 pieces, 54 millimeters, a little about roughly almost 2 inches each, right about, and 4 little pieces, just to give me an idea. Now, in case you don't have one of these to go with, all you got to do is, I'll show you. On the chassis, there's 2 holes. See them? Right there and right there. So there's 2 holes right there, gaps where you can sort of get a piece of paper or you can measure. I use my trusty caliper to give me all my measurements. So, and what I'll do is I just kind of go in here to get an idea. So it's I know it's 14 millimeters each hole. And the cool thing about it is when those paint stirrers that you can get at your hardware store are typically the perfect size yeah, so they're right around 3 millimeters in thickness. Same exact thickness about yeah, so these are around 2.7 inches in thickness, or 2 millimeters in thickness, and so there's still play. So it still kind of moves a little bit up and down. So I find that these work perfectly because they give you just a little bit extra, and they're right around 3 millimeters thickness. So they grab nice and stout like. They're really stiff. It's more stiff in there. So there's no play once it's in there. So you just gotta take your measurements and draw. You can get a piece of paper or something like that and get an idea about what it looks like and everything like that and how far you want it out. But if you want the schematics, how I got everything, I have a little piece of paper here. It's got all the measurements on every piece that I need. So there's 4 pieces in here. I over-engineered some things, so like you don't need the extra pieces here of wood. You don't need this extra piece of wood here. So you just glue these 4 pieces like this. I have the in stages is 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. So this top one will just cover this piece here, and then this piece is here. I'll show you. Maybe you get a better view of how I did it. There's the teeth. Right there. I know it looks Flintstone, guys. Trust me, it's going to look awesome when it's all done. Not that these body mounts are perfect looking. I mean, they don't look that great to begin with. But once it's all sanded, smoothed, and then painted black, you really won't know. All right, so let's go ahead and put that thing on. I'll make a separate video of me building another one of these. It takes about 10 minutes to do one. So I didn't want to run this video that long. So what I like to do is put it in here, just like that. I'll probably pull this off. There we go. So leave it like that. Then what I'm going to do is use hot glue and glue this thing down. Why I use hot glue? Because you can remove it. So leave it on the hot glue on there for about a minute to get a good idea where you want to put your screw holes in. So once you put this thing down, remember that thing use hot glues on it, and then it gives you an idea where you need to put your screw holes. Now, the screw holes I'm going to use is, in order to do it, you can use a 3/32 drill bit, and you just kind of give it a little bit of pressure. That wood's kind of soft a little bit, so I plan on polyurethaning it later, and maybe add some. I'm going to paint it, so I'm going to get an eye's view of where I want it. So that looks pretty good. And then just punch a hole, or like do a punch one, and then sort of get another idea of where I want it at, and do that one. So there. Now I'm going to drill the holes in it, like that. Then I'm going to put the body on this now. So I'm not going to put this body mount onto the chassis right now. So then you have to have a couple little screws with washers that will work. These I think are 3mm with 3mm bolts. And all this stuff you can get from your local hardware store. It doesn't cost a whole lot. You may even have this stuff. All this stuff pretty much I have here at the house. So there's nothing really I need to buy. But this is the glue I use. This stuff works great. It's fast setting, rapid fuse. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I make the holes a little bit larger into the body of the body mount. That way, or into the body. That way you can sort of move it up a little bit. You can fine tune this stuff, guys. This stuff's not has to be exact. There we go. All right. Voila. All right, so then, like that. All right, put the body mounts in. Boom. Or body clips in, sorry. There we go. Perfect. And just some sanding and painting, and she'll be good to go, guys. She looks really good. Check that out. I love it. So there you have it. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Please hit a like. If you can, please subscribe to my channel. I would love it. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about this car. I got to fix the front, and you're going to be with me when I do it. So there's a couple little areas. This is the Tamiya Lancia 037 now I got to redo. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to be primed, and then you guys are going to watch me paint it black. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.